spend some time with Bebbie and Bumpa, it's probably an opportune time to tell you the story of Bebbie and Bumpa. It's a fun story. But anyways, Bumpa and I became real good friends way back in, 1972, 73, somewhere around there. High school anyways, sophomore year. I could do the math and figure it out, but I'm too freaking lazy. And Bumpa really helped get me through high school, because my freshman year I was kind of struggling trying to fit in and wasn't doing too good at the job of it. But I survived in second year, signed up for football, and Larry played football and he was pretty good at it, and we became pretty good friends. And it also happened to be that I lived in one town over from where we actually went to high school, and sophomore year I was getting a lot more active with after school activities and evening activities and things like this. And I had after school practices and things like that. I was on the football team, the ski team, so often, I missed the buses to go home, or there was actually a late bus that would run, and I'd often miss that. And then, try to get back into town for the evening activities and get back home. Well, Ma'd do one trip, she wouldn't do three, so I couldn't always find rides. So one day Bumpa saw me sitting there looking all forlorn. It's like, I'm going to miss it, I got to go home. I don't think I can get rides back and forth. He says, just stay and have her come get you later and have dinner at our house. So much like Ma and Pa, his folks made the mistake of feeding me, and it became somewhat habitual. But his dad liked picking on me and stuff, so he got a few good chuckles out of it here and there. But yeah, we became real good friends in high school and whatnot, and ended up being roommates our freshman year, what was then Plymouth State College. Since we get out of the way, they decided to turn it into a full-fledged university. But yeah, so we were roommates freshman year at Plymouth. Well, about middle of the second semester, Bumpa comes back to the room one day and says, hey, I met these pretty cool gals, and we're going to have dinner with them tonight, and so, make sure you get back here. And I was like, yeah, I'll come back right, usual time right after ski practice. And sounds like fun. Go out and meet some cool girls. Yeah, what young guy doesn't have a problem with meeting cool girls? But anyways, that day I went to ski practice, and it was springtime, and it was warm, and the snow turned into corn snow. And for those listening that don't know about New England skiing, what corn snow is, it's basically little ice crystals that have the consistency of gravel. And so it's on a nice warm day, you're often out there in t-shirts or shorts or whatever, and if you fall, you get a road rash, much like if you just laid your bike down. It will literally just rip your skin off. But being late in the season, I think we had one race left, and the conditions weren't that great for practice, so coach just said, go out and ski, have fun, relax, enjoy yourselves for the day. So we were out raising hell on the mountain and seeing how much air we could catch off various jumps and bumps and places on the mountain. There was this one place where you could get all the air you wanted. I mean, you could clock the hang time, and we were having great fun. And I went off this one time, and I'd taken just a slightly different path because a rock was forming, and I ended up landing over in a great big pile of this corn snow, which when it gets thick and piles up like that, it kind of has the consistency and works like wet cement. And well, I came down and my feet stopped, and I didn't, and my face hit that corn snow. And I left half my face on the mountain. It was just, oh, it was ugly. I was just bleeding. And have you ever had your face bleed? It is not pretty. So anyways, I get back to the room when I said I would, and I really didn't feel like I was in any shape or form to go out and meet any girls that night. I mean, by that time my face had started scabbing over and it was just freaking ugly. And of course Bumpa, with his sense of humor, was trying to make me laugh, and that'd make my face crack and then start bleeding again. And the more blood he got, the more he made me laugh. And I was like, oh God. So anyways, I'm just not feeling like going out to meet any girls, but to get back to the story of Bebbie and Bumpa, the next segment of this story involves Bebbie. Because Bumpa talked me into going out to dinner with him anyways, and I was like, oh God, I've embarrassed myself before, what the hell. So off we go. Then we walk into the cafeteria with our trays of food and walk up to this table with a bunch of cute girls sitting at it, and there's Bebbie telling the story of this poor bastard she saw that was missing half his face, because apparently she was going up in the chairlift right when I pulled my stunt right under the chairlift, and she pretty much saw the whole thing happen, or the immediate after effects of it, with me trying to ski down the mountain with blood coming out of half my face all around my eye and stuff. It wasn't a pretty sight, and something that'll kind of stick with you. And when I walked in to sit down, I saw Bebbie about as close to speechless as I've ever seen her. But she recovered quickly, and it's him, so. But we sat down, and well, Bumpa met Bebbie, and soon it was Bebbie and Bumpa, and they decided that after freshman year they'd head out on to their own and take a different path through life while I stayed in school. But the rest of that semester at Plymouth, we had a crew. There was 4 of us guys, and the crew of girls, and we just had so much fun together. We became close friends, and you know, after freshman year, the end of that semester, a lot of people didn't come back. They went different paths, but you know, Bump and I being good friends and everything, we stayed pretty close, and I'd often end up going up and spending weekends with them. Suppose I ought to mention that Bebbie and Bumpa got married about, well, it was fall of that year. And myself and one other gal were the only 2 from the crew that could make it to their wedding. But it was a great affair. I got absolutely hammered, made a fool out of myself again. But they expect that stuff from me, so no hard feelings were made. But Bebbie and Bumpa, it's like every now and then we just go 10 years, 15 years, or whatever, without seeing each other. And then one way or another, something comes up and we get back together, and it's, you know, it's like we never, type of friends you just pick up. And you tell some of the stories of when your time's apart, but the friendship's right where it was. And just all kinds of fun. And God, we still have all kinds of fun. And you know, I left the town I grew up in and moved down to the southern part of the state. I ended up in California for a few years, and they stayed to home and helped Littleton become a better place. And they have, you know, some great friends from, you know, our classes and the classes around us and so forth. And they're all such nice people. God, we have so much fun. I usually go camping with them for a few days every summer, but it's not camping, it's glamping. They have a trailer that's nicer than my freaking house, so Hey, you want to go camping? And it's like I'm knocking on the door saying, sure, when do we leave? Well, actually, it's about 2 weeks there, Jim, so, you know, don't get too excited. But yeah, we have fun. They go up to this one campground. I think there's like 27 trailers with all the various families and kids of families and grandkids of families, and they all but take over the campground for a week or 10 days. And I usually join them for like 4 days during that particular week and do cookouts and rides and just all kinds of fun. Killing off brain cells in the evening with alcohol. But it's one of those deals where once you're there, in the morning you might have to run out to get something to restock the fridge so you have food for that night. But other than that, you don't go anywhere. You just kind of sit around, enjoy yourselves. And Bumpa plays guitar and sings around the campfire, and it's great fun. He still plays a lot of the songs that he used to play in college. And everybody sings along and has a grand old time. So anyways, I realized I missed a big chapter or so from the story of Bebbie and Bumpa, so all the clips are on one video card or SD card, whatever you call those things that are supposed to replace memory. Wish they worked, and wish I could plug one in my head, but that's another story. But anyways, so Bebbie and Bumpa, they left school after the second semester and decided it wasn't for them, and they wanted to take a different path through life, and they went out and ended up getting married not too many months later. And most of us thought they were nuts. Saw a disaster on the wall, but somewhat 43 years later, they're still proving us all wrong. Having a good time doing it, that's great. But anyways, they had 2 wonderful daughters and 3 wonderful grandkids, and the first grandson, he had trouble saying Bebbie's real name, and it came out Bebbie rather than, well, you can probably figure out what it is, and if you know her, you know. But yeah, so Bebbie and then Bumpa, so they were renamed by their grandson, and it stuck, and it's quite fitting. Run into Bebbie, and if she has a shirt with her name on it, it's Bebbie. I think Bumpa's got a few of them too, football jerseys and everything. It's funny. But yeah, every time I get together with Bebbie and Bumpa, we have all kinds of fun, and it's like we're still young and dumb. The only difference is we're old and dumb.